Seeking redress for the flood damage due to management of Shannon River water levels is a complex matter. There are many agencies involved or interested in the water levels, but the big ones are the ESB, Waterways Ireland, and to a lesser extent the OPW.
There are 8 sets of sluice gates impacting water levels on the Shannon. ESB manage the lake sections and Waterways Ireland the river sections.
The ESB is the main protagonist and was given the power to control the Shannon River levels back in the 1920s. It monitors water levels at various points along the Shannon, and the main outflow rates at Ardnacrusha Power Station and Partine Weir, 24/7, and these stats are available from the beginning. Its management of the Athlone Weir, and especially Partine Weir, is the main contributor to how it can control water levels in the Callows area.
During large floods, the amount of water flowing in the river is greater than the capacity of Ardnacrusha. In these circumstances, the excess water has to be allowed to continue flowing down the old river channel. This is achieved by opening the gates at Partine Weir. This is, in effect, the only place along the river where ESB actively controls water flow during floods.
Looking at recent data, for example, it can be seen that waters rose in Lough Allen and Lough Ree around the 8th of September last, but there was no corresponding rise in Lough Derg, presumably because a lot more water was released through Ardnacrusha and Partine at the same time. The extent of flooding along the Shannon is now mapped accurately by the OPW and can be seen online at floodmaps.ie. It is possible to hone in on individual affected farms, and then through combination with the Land Registry website, individual affected owners can be identified. The OPW has also had a comprehensive study conducted on understanding water levels on the River Shannon and the associated flood risk assessment and management. Critical water levels at certain locations are mentioned for triggering floods. So what are the steps to redress for the affected landowners? Two approaches in my view: retrospective or futuristic. I believe a retrospective approach, where an attempt to quantify perceived damages caused by the management of Shannon River water levels, then litigate and then seek compensation, would be very costly and difficult and perhaps not feasible. A futuristic approach, whereby acceptable river water levels are established and agreed, and where the authorities are legally bound to adhere to or otherwise be liable to compensate all the affected landowners on a transgression by transgression basis, might be the way to go. Hydroelectricity, to put in perspective, only accounts for 2% of our total generation. It has a new role as a clean energy balancer for the grid, but it is of very little significance. On a final note, by clause 14 of the original 1925 Shannon Electricity Act, the Minister has the power to charge any lands where the scheme benefits lands by way of drainage or protection from flooding. Does that mean that the opposite applies?